Let me make sure I'm recording. So welcome to Empowered Elites team call for May 11th. I am so excited for our guest speaker tonight, but before we dive in, I just want to make sure, does anybody have any recognition or rank advancements that they want to shout out from last week, or any honorable mentions about anything? Share your excitement.
I don't have rank advancement, but I have a really big announcement that I need to share.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to say congratulations to Rachel because it's finally out there and
Yes.
she's pregnant and I'm so excited, and she will tell everybody everything, but it's all because of her new healthy lifestyle. Sorry, Rach, I had to do it. I'm so happy.
So awesome. Can't wait to hear you share. I was just thinking today I can't drink water because half our team is pregnant right now. We are so happy for you, Rachel.
I totally thought that too.
Yes. Okay, does anybody else have anything else they want to shout out? If not, I have two honorable mentions. They're not necessarily ranked, but I have one new coach who's advanced on the leadership ladder, and Jordan Benninger is officially a team builder now, which is an absolutely huge accomplishment. So congratulations, Jordan. And I also want to shout out Jeanette Miller, who this is only her second month as a coach, but she not only hit Success Club and Emerald last month, but she also locked in her first month of Success Starters. And if you are new and you're not familiar, Success Starters, if you earn Success Club in your first 3 months as a coach, you will earn a free ticket to next year's Coach Summit, which is a $270 value. So this is an absolutely awesome thing. So congratulations, Jeanette. And I want to mention one more thing as a reminder to those of you that are coming to Summit, the Success Club party. You have to earn Success Club 10 in May and June to be able to attend this 80s themed party and just come and celebrate your success and changing lives with all of your coach friends. And if you want to look at more details, it's FAQ 3684. So now that that's all out of the way, I want to dive into getting our guest speaker talking. I asked Mackenzie to speak on our call tonight just because if you follow her on Facebook, you know that she is just such an incredible light. Like, you can't look at her Facebook and her posts and not just smile and giggle at her authenticity and just how unique she is and how much she owns the person that she is. And I know that we've talked a little bit about authenticity and sharing your story and being vulnerable and all those things before, but I really wanted to bring in someone else who I really admire for this quality as a coach to help maybe share some things that you guys haven't thought about before. And she's also going to talk about the power of mindset and the power of ensuring that you're here a year from now. And she can explain that exactly why to you. So Mackenzie is a lifetime diamond coach, and she's currently fighting to get that back right now, but she is absolutely incredible, and I'm so excited for her to share with you. So take it away, girl.
Thank you so much. That was I really appreciate that and respect that, because when I first started coaching, I was following Dana like crazy. I just thought she was just this great little sweet little woman, and to hear her story and to see how she was evolving over the year that I've watched her in coaching has been a blessing. And now to get to speak to you guys honestly feels pretty cool, because I don't know any of you, and I love that about this business. I have no idea who any of you are, and you probably don't know who I am either. But that's what's great, is hopefully by the end of this we can all kind of learn something about ourselves and about one another and move on in a big way. So I want to give you a little bit of an idea of who I am before I dive into all this stuff. Oh wait, sorry, go ahead.
I said, can I jump in real quick, because I forgot to ask them what I said. I just wanted to quickly encourage you guys, as a lot of you I have talked to personally about this, and a lot of you have mentioned it in different team calls, but I would love if you could post something in the comments that you struggle with when it comes to sharing authentically or sharing your story. It can be something specific like self-confidence or self-esteem, or it can just be, you know, a certain part of your story that maybe you struggle to share. It can be anything, but I would love if you could post that in the comments, because my hopes is that with what Mackenzie shares tonight, it can give you some ideas and tips and really kind of help you in the confidence department to get out there and share that after tonight's call. So that was all. Go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know if you're supposed to do that right now. Do you want them to do that right now or after? Right now? Okay. So
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Okay. So you guys just, just post away in there. I'm going to like kind of take off here because sometimes I tend to get long-winded, and I tried to give myself some type of structure with what to talk about, so I was easier to follow because I'm kind of a little bit of a tornado. So I want to just quickly say this because I feel like to know what I'm going to tell you about what I share on social media, you need to know a little bit about who I am. I'm 23 and I just graduated from WVU a whole year ago, which I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but to me it's like, holy cow, I've been graduated for a year because I started coaching a year ago. And when I was in school, when I was 18, I started bartending. Sorry. And I had to get a job right away. I had to support myself 100%, rent and all of those big adult things that really that don't even seem like a big deal to me now. But at 18, I was like, holy cow. So I kind of understood pretty early what it was going to be like to have to hustle and take care of yourself and figure things out when you didn't know what you were going to do and stuff like that. But with that came understanding what sacrifice felt like and being away from my family and not getting to do the things that every other college kid was doing on their Thanksgiving break because she had to go back to work that night. And a lot of that was the driving force for why I said, screw what everybody tells me I'm supposed to do when I get out of college, because I don't want to do that. So, but what I went through in school was so much more than what I struggled with, like with a degree. I learned more about myself then than I could have ever imagined, but those were some of the darkest years for me, now seeing how bright the world actually is. Working in a bar, I definitely developed a habit. I abused alcohol for a long time. And I know everyone's like, oh, people are in college and it's just the way it is. And, that's just life. And I told myself the same thing. But, when you're abusing something because of insecurities and lack of self-confidence and, that's not just because it's for fun anymore. And that was something that I, again, realized when I kind of got that mind of mine in shape. So with that, when I became a coach, I was like, I need a healthier lifestyle. I need a better community. I need something to turn to. Like, I cannot go on living this way. I am finally down 25 pounds. I'm still drinking and having a great time, but not for the wrong reasons. I've cut out some other really, really, really bad habits, and I'm happy to say those are also in my past. So that kind of is going to help you understand what I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about, because when I was 22 years old, posting that I was a Beachbody coach on my Facebook page, I was going from like the girl who was tagged in pictures every single weekend with beer in her hand and like these embarrassing photos all over the place, and like basically a reputation of call Mackenzie if you want to have a great time, call Mackenzie if you're going to the bars, and basically stuff like that. So I was like, great, like people are probably going to be like, what is she talking about? But, I just tried to be like, listen, like I feel great. Like this is my transformation and this is this. But at the beginning, it was really, really, really hard because I didn't feel like I was being what a Beachbody coach was supposed to be. I didn't yet feel like I was a health and wellness coach because I had this past of terrible eating. So at the beginning, it was all about what I thought I should be posting as a coach and what I thought people wanted to hear and what I thought, a Beachbody coach would say. I kept slapping this label on myself. And I'm not saying that it's like not freaking awesome that we're Beachbody coaches, but guys, like the number one thing you have to understand is you are you first and you get to be a Beachbody coach. So that's important to remember. Like you have to be 100% you and that person gets to be a Beachbody coach. That doesn't mean that, and that's what you bring into your brand. So with that being said, you know, when I started in this business and I started getting into personal development, I didn't always have a positive relationship with it. Personal development kind of made me dig up some serious insecurities that I had been masking for a very, very, very long time, very long time. I had basically developed a whole second personality for myself that thrived while I was in college. Could put a little alcohol with that and I was good to go. So personal development and I did not have a great relationship starting out. And let me tell you, it shows. If you are not growing, if you're not actually on a journey, you're not going to have anything to share. So you can fake it till you make it, in a sense, in this business. But it's like if you're talking to somebody on the phone, this is a great thing to keep in mind. If you're talking to somebody on the phone, you can tell if they're smiling or not. You always can. I don't know what it is. It's weird. And my dad calls me out for it all the time. But it's just the way it is. It's going to come through in your words. And you can sit there and type until you're blue or until your fingers have calluses on them and try so hard to say the right things. And just do everything that you can to be positive that day and to be excited that day. But you are not going to really come across the way that you're trying to come across if you don't feel that first. So that's where the mindset really comes in. And you have to want to feel that way. You cannot treat personal development like it's just something I have to do today. Because I was doing that for a long time. Personal development, and the first 3 months that I was a coach, I experienced the most anxiety I've ever faced in my life. I experienced depression for a little while, and I was pretty messed up in the head because here was this thing making me face all this crap that I had spent 22 years palming. I was like, no way. But here it was. And I got to tell you guys, if there's something inside you that is your little skeleton, the skeletons in your closet, the demons, that stuff's got to come out. And maybe it's not going to come out right away on social media. Maybe tonight typing it in the chat box was the first step for you. But the more you bring that to life, the more it's going to be in your past and it's going to stay there. It's not going to be something that you're constantly fighting anymore. It's going to be gone. So I want you to remember that. You have to be on a journey to have a journey to share. I think Patrick Ruhlman said that one time on a team call, and that literally blew my mind because, guys, if we are not growing, we're not going to have anything to share. You can only post a sweaty selfie so many times, and you can only post a recipe so many times. You can only post you smiling and sharing the coaching opportunity, but you have to have a story to tell. And it has to come from those skeletons and those things from your past that maybe you don't want to talk about. And maybe there's things that happened to you when you started coaching that maybe you don't want to talk about. But all of that stuff is what is going to bring the people that need to be working with you and that need you into your life. So you're going to A, grow, and B, you're going to help people grow. And it might not be okay, well, if I share this, then I'm going to get a Success Club point, because that's definitely not what you want to have on the forefront of your mind when you're making posts anyway. And I'm hopefully going to get to that if I stick to my note things. So once I stopped being afraid of the story and the life that I've lived, it was a whole new ballgame. People ask me, they're like, where do you feel like your shift came from? And I was like, well, basically when I stopped being ashamed of who I once was. I mean, guys, we become coaches and we see this new beautiful life and we're probably like, holy freaking cow, how have I not been living like this whole time? Or oh my gosh, I can't believe I ever lived. I can't believe I ever thought that about myself. And I was like, that's totally me. So I stopped worrying about what I thought people wanted me to say and what I thought they needed to hear. And I started talking to what I would have needed to hear. And that's what shapes the entire mission that every single thing that I put out there is around. And for me, I want to exude confidence. exude it. Like literally it's seeping out of me at every moment. That's what I want, because I want girls who are in the same place in their life as I am to get that. And I want them to understand that you can feel that way. It's not just college. It's not just your 20s. And that for me, that's for me. That's my tribe. That's my story. And that's what I'm about. But you have to figure that out for yourself. You have to create every post and make it around a mission. All right. You don't want to make one post for like, just because of this, or just because of this, or hoping that that's going to bring you a coach, or hoping that that's going to bring you a challenge pack sale. You have to trust that your words are going to be as effective as these products that we sell and that shake that we drink. Your message and your words have to be as effective as the program that changed your life. For me, what I was afraid to share was like, I still like to go out on the weekends and drink with my friends. I love good beers, but you know what? It is like a whole new world for me because I don't abuse alcohol anymore. Because and for a while, I was afraid of drinking when I first started coaching. I had so much anxiety that I couldn't even drink because I was afraid of what it was going to do to my mind and what I was going to like act like. So that is, to me, to be able to go out now and have fun. And I'm sorry, I've never really like shared that with anybody before. But for me to go out and have fun with my friends and it just be for the right reasons, that's like a win for me. That's like a huge win. Sometimes I'm going to miss workouts. I share that. I'm totally proud of that because the people that I want rocking with me are people that are like, it's okay. I'm going to get up and do it tomorrow. I don't want, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to sit around in some pity party and I'm not going to post about it. And guys, yeah, we need to post about our mistakes, but we also need to post how we became the hero. You want people to see how you became the hero of your own story. Because no matter what happens, no matter who gets inspired by who, you are not going to grow unless you become your own hero. So every single thing that you talk about has to come around in some full circle way about you overcoming that. One time in a transformation post, for example, I posted about, you know, basically I used to sit around and like make fun of girls posting transformation pictures and like not liking what they looked like before in their before picture. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, like her before is like me on a good day. That's so ridiculous. Like swear that's how low my self-confidence was. I was literally sitting there making fun of people, and I'm going to get to cyberbullying too. But guys, like I admitted to that because I was thinking to myself, you know what? If I was thinking that, then other people are thinking that. And that's a huge problem. And I want to fix that because I can. Because I have this platform that I can speak to. So yeah, you got to come from your own experiences, and it's going to freaking suck sometimes. It's going to be really embarrassing and it's going to be scary. And you know, like you just got to do it. And I know that sounds super simple, but like one of the first things that I ever did on social media that just was like the weirdest and most off the wall was I just like posted like a 1.5-minute picture of me dancing around in my living room. And it was like, I mean, it didn't even like, nothing even major happened. But for me, it was like, oh my gosh, like I totally wouldn't have done that a month ago. And that wasn't business related. It wasn't like I was sharing anything scary. It wasn't like I like dug deep to pull that out of me. But it was like a side of me that I'd never shared with anyone before. Not like that. I mean, my roommate saw it more than she probably wanted to. But you see my point. There are these steps that we can take that are going to pull us out of our shell a little bit more every single time. But that's where you have to want to get pulled out of your shell. You have to want to read your personal development and actually soak in what is being said to you. And just like when you're doing your workouts, guys, like we all know, like if we're not squatting the right way, we're not going to have a great butt and great legs. So what are we all doing? We're squatting the right way. We're not just going to waste the time that we were supposed to be working out and get crappy results. So it's really about wanting to be on the journey. And then you're going to be so freaking excited to share it that you're going to keep growing as you share something. When I shared for the first time about you know, just not feeling like I could ever control my thoughts, and like how I've really started to like get a handle on having anxiety. People, like, it's not like people who liked that and messaged me about that, like, they might not be on my team right now. They might not be signed up with me, but them knowing that I went through something like that too helped them in some way. And that's where we have to look at social media. It's not a way to A, grow our business, and B, hit Success Club, but it's a way to C, change lives for like the better in whole. Like, maybe they're not ready to be a part of Beachbody, but maybe they need you in their life in some way, shape, or form. And like, that's really important for you to remember, because once you remember that, Success Club will happen, coaches will come, and you're going to see success as long as you're putting yourself out there for those reasons. So, okay. All right. So here are some things, with that being said, that you can kind of ask yourself when you're posting. Would I follow myself? Do I even find myself to be interesting? Because like, honestly, guys, like, I go back to my social media when I first started, and I'm like, I would have been bored with this person, like, honestly. Yeah. And would I be bored with me? Would I be excited to see me pop up on my newsfeed every single day? Because let's get real, we're popping up on newsfeed. At least we should be 2 to 3 times a day. So you got to make sure people are excited to see your face. Like, they are supposed to be looking forward to your posts. And you gotta like think that. You can't just put something out there like, oh gosh, like, I hope somebody likes this. Oh gosh, I don't know. Like, I hope I get a comment. You got to be like, heck yeah, your post needs to fire you up. Like, you need to read that post. I go back sometimes to read my posts like 2 or 3 times after I've already posted them. And I don't think that's me being cocky. I think that's me being like super proud of what I just said, and probably needing to keep rereading it, because I probably need to hear what I said too. So be that pumped up about what you're saying, because I think people take social media and this business like for granted. But to be honest, guys, like, I think it's one of my favorite parts, like, to be completely honest, because you can reach so many people. You can reach so many more people than just your team. And, you know, our goal is, yeah, to keep changing their lives and to like bring them into this beautiful opportunity. But at the same time, like, this is a beautiful platform for us. And with all the negative crap that's out there, we get to be positive voices. We get to run our social medias with an intention and with value. So that's a really big thing to remember, guys. Like, you want to be pumped up, and you want to look at yourself like you're already there. And that's not faking it like till you're making it. But one post is not going to like totally rock the universe and like turn everything around. It's just not. But if you keep making those posts for those people that show up and support you every single day, those numbers are going to grow, and those views are going to grow, and the amount of people that you're reaching it's just going to naturally grow. But every single time you post something, like, you have to wonder if you would have wanted to hear that. Like, did you need to hear that story about a workout maybe a year ago before you started? That's the kind of stuff to keep in the front of your mind. So you need to figure out a way to bring it all around to being the hero of it. And showing people, like, I came through this and here I am. And those positive smiles every single day, people aren't going to be annoyed by that. And it's funny, if you think people get annoyed by seeing your happiness, then those people probably should just get blocked anyway. Because they're just standing in the way. I had this girl, we went to high school together, and she and I were once friends. And she was trolling my posts for a really long time. She was never really saying anything super mean, but she was definitely being sarcastic. She was being rude. She was mocking me on a lot of things. And finally, I was like, all right, like, what's going on? And I find out that she was also mocking me on another social media site for like months. And I had no idea. She posted like a screenshot of her and her friend talking about me and making fun of me, and posted my actual name in the conversation on Twitter, it was just like, what? Like, okay. So basically to me, I'm like, of course I was hurt. I was really hurt. This was like the first time I'd ever really felt like bullied as far as like a coach and like what with my posts and everything. But at the same time, I came out of this and I was like, I was like, I feel sorry for her. But honestly, like I do. I feel sorry for her, and I feel sorry for every other person that spends their time daily tearing other people down. And we should literally all pat ourselves on the back because we're using social media for positive reasons. And those type of people just need blocked. They need deleted. They need kicked out. They're out of your mindset. They're out of your life. Because like, guys, like I know that this is just social media, but that was really, really, really hurtful. Really hurtful. And if someone is doing something like that to you, it's okay to get them out of your life because they don't have to be following you, just like you don't have to remain friends with them. So that was kind of hard for me to understand. I was like, I don't want to block them. Like, I don't know. I don't want them to be mad at me. Like, you know, and then I was like, no, guys, we are business owners. We are business owners. All right. That kind of stuff is just in your way. It's in your way and you just need to get it. If anyone is giving you a hard time like that, best advice, block. And I know that sounds like, whoa, but guys, you got to stick up for yourself and you got to stick up for all the other people who are afraid to be positive on social media because that's not what the world's telling them to do. Like, let's be different in that sense because the world thinks it's okay to do stuff like that. And it happens on a very, very, very large scale. So we are part of the movement that's not only, you know, kicking obesity's butt. We're not only changing the road for entrepreneurs and women out there trying to make their life whatever they want, but we are voices on a platform and since this is about social media, I'm just going to say that we are voices on social media, guys, and we can be louder than all the other junk. And I think that's a really big thing to understand. Like, you have a way to not only change the world in the sense of health and fitness, but there is like really bad bullying that goes on. And if those people were more secure with themselves and they were more confident with themselves, like we can help them become, like we can teach them, there's going to be less of that. So that's also kind of where it comes full circle. But when it comes to what you post, what you actually post, the content, you are going to get whatever you're posting about. So like, you know, if you're posting about challenge groups, you're going to get challengers. If you're sharing your life every single day about what it's like to be a coach, people are going to start asking you about what it's like to be a coach. If you are posting yourself and actually who you are, things you enjoy, you know, what your everyday life looks like, you're going to attract people that are part of your tribe. And you cannot stop doing that. Like Dana was saying, last month, I literally sat in a pity party all last month. And my social media, honest to God, was like a highlight reel. Because I was just too, like, I couldn't, like, get my mind out of this, like, junk, all out of this pity party. You know what I mean? You're going to lose coaches. You're going to drop rank. But what we have to remember is, like, social media is the way to reach those other people that actually need us, that actually want to be in this business. So it's important that we show up every single day and that we show up with the intention to find those people that need us. Because guys, and I know probably Dana said this to you a million times, like it's gonna happen. I've been in this business for a year and I'm like, okay, like what now? Like I've been in this a year, like what's, and guys, guess what? Like you just keep going. Like there's really no, you know, last month was supposed to be this like big month for me and it wasn't. And I realized I'm like, but would I still show up to this business if there was no ranks? Would I still show up to this business if there were no exciting trips? Would I still show up to this business if I wasn't getting paid? Would I still show up? Would I still want to help people? Would I still be grateful what this business did for me this whole past year? Because I have been able to do things that I never thought I would be able to do because I became a coach. I just recently moved to Jacksonville, Florida, 11 hours away from my family. And I was literally terrified all last month. I was like barely able to put it into words finally until a few days before the move. When I was a kid, I had so much anxiety that I locked my parents out of the house once so they wouldn't take me to school. Like I was like, no way, I'm not leaving you guys. Like, and this was me when I was like 7. Like I locked my parents out of the house like multiple times because that's how bad I didn't want to go to school. I've always suffered from it so badly, but I moved 11 hours away and I feel great. I feel more at peace right now than I ever have. And that's because I literally jolted myself out of my comfort zone. And I'm more happy about the fact that I did it than whatever outcome is going to happen. And that's really how you have to treat this business, guys. Like whatever's scaring you the most, do it right now. Because no matter what happens from it, you're going to feel so much better that you just simply did it. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. And more than likely, the outcome is going to be something you could have never imagined. Because that's all I was worried about for a whole month. I was worried about what's going to happen to my business. I was worried about what life was going to be like. And I was terrified. Here I'm a full-time coach living in Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm just like waking up every day like, holy freaking cow. Like, I can't believe I did this. And that pumps me up. Facing those fears, little bit at a time, is going to give you that confidence to keep facing more fears. But you just have to start. You just have to share that scary thing. And maybe you're going to say like one word in your post. I remember the first time I shared about having anxiety, I was like, anxiety. And then I didn't say anything else about it the rest of the post. Like I just said it like once and then I just like, didn't even act like I said it. But I said it and it's a part of my story. And now I really don't talk about it as much as I used to. Because to be honest, it really doesn't come up in my mind as much as it used to. I'm not fighting it as much as I used to because I've shared and I've grown from it. And now I'm moving on to some other type of adventure. You know what I mean? Like here I am. I'm in Jacksonville. I'm a full-time coach and I'm freaking out about that a little bit too. But I am believing. I'm believing because I took the step. And that's what we have to remember as coaches is that like, we're not always going to know what the heck's going to happen, but we need to have confidence in the fact that we'll figure it out. And I think Liz Harkey said that one time. And I feel like that was like my life mantra. That's been my life mantra because like I had $17 in my bank account one time. And when I was like in school and I had rent to pay and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I better pick up some bartending shifts. And it was simple. I was like, it was just simple. I went and did it. And for some reason with this business, it's like so complex. And this was something that was holding me back for the longest time too, is it's not that complex. We just have to know, hey, I got to go do this. Like I got to start doing, and whatever happens from my doing is what's meant to happen. So I want to leave you guys with, I got off track. I knew I would. Okay. So these are just like a few little tips, for your social media and then just like kind of where to keep your mind and all of it. So follow other entrepreneurs, guys. Like like I said, we're Beachbody coaches, but we're like business people. Like we're building brands here. We're partnered with Beachbody, but like the only thing that is different is you. Those people can go get those programs anywhere they want, anywhere. I mean, I know like 20 people who probably know a person with programs who never ordered from a coach. Like this stuff's all over the place, but why do they want to work with you? What can you offer them that just like plugging it in their TV every day isn't going to do the trick? And that's part of you sharing that. How did you stay on track? Like that's a big deal. This community is special. So do not be afraid to share it. Even if you think people are going to think you're crazy. I had to get over the idea that I was not a salesman for like the longest time, because that was like my biggest fear when I was talking to people. I was like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm selling something. This is terrible. I was the only person thinking that. So if any of you are thinking that, just stop thinking it, because nobody else is thinking that. That's literally like it. I swear. And it's just in your head. It's not, no one else is thinking it. And if they are, they're not thinking the right thing. Because when have you ever entered a Beachbody training and they teach you how to sell something? Never. You're terrible salesmen. We are all terrible salesmen. We do not teach that. So don't worry, you would fail at being a salesman anyway. Yeah, study but more than just studying what they post, study why someone would want to read what they read. Study why they post what they post. Because guys, you can say whatever you want. People can read your words. You can grab their attention, but no matter what you say, people are only going to remember the way you make them feel. So you have to figure out the way your words make you feel and the way that your words are going to make your tribe feel. Because like, you know, how many posts do we put out? How much content do we throw out there? Like so much. But your intent with your content should be, how am I going to make someone feel? You know what I mean? You don't want someone to necessarily be like quoting you to their kids all the time, but like, it's more like, whoa, like she moved me. Like I felt like that once. I feel like that right now. I want to feel like that in my future. So remember that. It's about a feeling, guys. It's about a feeling. Your words are important, but you want your words to make someone feel some type of way. Okay. I already said that. And kind of like one last thing to just like bring this around. Guys, you're a big deal. Like you are a big deal. And you need to own that. You need to own that 100%. Like I don't know any of you. I literally have no idea. I barely know Dana. Like honestly, like I know we're going to talk so much now after this, but like, come on, like you are a big deal and you have to feel that way about yourself. Like walk tall, shoulders back, you know, like be that person, because somebody out there needs you to be that person for them until they're ready to be that person for themselves. Never, I'm going to leave you with this quote. This is my favorite quote. I made this up, I don't know when, but a long time ago. Never dim your own brightness out of fear of outshining another. Do not ever dim how bright you shine, because it don't matter. Like it does not matter. Keep burning bright. It doesn't matter what else is going around you. You know what I mean? Just keep freaking going. Okay. So let me see what's in the chat box. Coach.
I absolutely loved all that. I took 2 pages of notes. I just wanted to say one of the probably my favorite things that you said, and I know that I've heard that before, but it's an awesome reminder, is that you always have to have the confidence that you're going to figure it out. Like we all start as beginners. We all fail at things. We all have weaknesses. Like we all don't know how to post on social media when we start. We don't know how to invite. We don't know how to do pretty much everything that we do. But if you always have that fortitude and that confidence that you figure it out, that there's no way but for you to succeed. It's just a matter of time if you're intentional about it. So I love that reminder.
Good. So I see where everyone kind of said like coach opportunity. Oh, wait, I want to address this really fast. Jocelyn, sorry, didn't mean to call you out here. I don't know where you are. There you are. Okay. I'm really sorry, but this is a really great example. And then I'm going to like tell you guys like 1 or 2 things about the coach job, because I used to be terrified of that too. Okay. People who think that you're searching for pity don't matter. Okay. Hopefully those people understand that you're sharing your heart, and maybe they're going to look at you like, wow, she's really freaking brave. That is something inside of you that you have to overcome first. And like, guys, I'm going to say that for everybody. If it's something you're feeling on the inside, that's probably the main problem. All of these insecurities and all these things that we think people are saying about us, it's because we are thinking them ourselves. Like, I was literally sitting at dinner one time eating a salad, and I thought my friend was texting and talking bad about me because I wasn't eating cheesesteaks like everyone else. Like, that's how un-okay with my new lifestyle and with myself that I was. And that was like 2 months ago. But like, insecurities are going to happen. Like, stuff like that's going to happen, but recognize it. Like, recognize whatever it is that's making you feel that way and work on it, because everyone else's opinions don't matter. Your opinion of yourself is the only thing that matters. And, okay. I didn't read that last part. Do you want to, would it be helpful? Have you ever talked to anyone about that before? No one on the team? I think your first step is to just talk to someone about it. It doesn't have to be on social media right away, but the best thing for you to do is say it to someone. And I know that I personally can tell you, and I don't want to go into this because I too will probably go into tears. I faced a very, very, very dark thing from my past because of personal development. And I'm never going to share that. It's something that will never be seen on my social media. It's extremely private. But I had to get it out of my mind. I had to get it out of my body and release it. And when I did that, it was like a whole new world. And it's not like I'm fighting it anymore. I'm not constantly working to fight it. It's gone. And it's not that it's gone. It's a part of me. It's part of who I am. But sometimes you just got to say something out loud or just say it to someone. And that's going to help you overcome a lot of other things that are holding you back, maybe with sharing. Because sometimes, guys, it's just one thing. And it's going to affect every other thing that we're trying to say. Yes. I hope that helps. I really didn't mean to call you out, but I really think that was a lesson for everyone in a sense, because guys, it's really hard. But at the same time, I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, who would I be had I not been forced to overcome something like that? And I don't think I would have if this business wouldn't have pushed me to do it. So just remember that. Stay grateful for that reason, guys. Really fast about sharing the business opportunity. I was really scared of this in the beginning because I had this big fear of feeling salesy. And the best thing that you can do is literally tell your story from start to finish. If you thought coaching was weird or you were skeptical of it too, you need to say that. If you just weren't sure, or you had these certain fears at the beginning, because everybody raise your hand if you were scared when you started Beachbody coaching. Exactly. I guarantee you there's not a person out there that's ever going to message you and be like, I am so ready to be a Beachbody coach. I totally understand this. I'm not afraid at all. And I cannot wait because it's going to be so easy and I'm so ready to rock it. And I don't think it's a pyramid scheme. And I blah, 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 blah. There's not a single person out there that probably thinks that, unfortunately. Hopefully someday people are going to look at us like we're not crazy, but you see my point. If you felt that, someone else is feeling it. So put that in your coaching posts, and every single day, drop a little hint somewhere in a post about maybe you, little things, just breadcrumb what coaching is like in your posts. It doesn't always have to be one major post about coaching, but those are great. But then people aren't going to look at you like, what's she doing? What's coaching? They're already going to know. Why are you staying accountable in your workouts? Because you have a team behind you, because you're a coach, because you're showing up for other people. Share your challengers' results, stuff like that. Give people a little window into your life and what it's like to be a coach, and they're going to understand it more without you having to tell them. You're not going to have to like push words on them. They're just going to see it. I hope that helps. Anybody else have any questions about posting and stuff? Sorry, all of that kind of got lost, but the fact that you wrote it in the chat box means that you were brave enough to tell someone, so now you have to make a post about it on your social media. Hope that helped, Dana.
No, I think that was awesome. Awesome. Declan thinks it's awesome too. I just think that. Okay.
Don't talk.
Okay.
Let me talk.
Well, he's not gonna let me talk. So.
Let me talk.
You want to talk?
Yeah. I just want it.
I just honestly think. Declan, you'll have to give me a minute. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I'm just reading through the chat. Sorry. Okay, so people that are kind of afraid of like messaging people and are afraid of feeling salesy, I totally felt the same way. I was like, oh my gosh, this girl's going to be like, I'm going to say hey, and she's going to be like, hey, why are you saying hey to me? Okay, seriously, I'm the person, like, you know when you go to Kroger or like whatever your grocery store is, and someone says hi to you and it's like the weirdest thing, but they were like nice and just smiled at you for a second, like in the line. Maybe I'm the only person that thinks that's really cool. But like, you know how someone's just nice to you in public, like for no reason? That's what you need to look at yourself as. It is great to receive compliment. Like, who doesn't want to be told their profile picture is beautiful? You're just sending out random acts of kindness, guys. You're just saying, hey, you're telling someone happy birthday and you're letting them know that you're thinking of them. And I know that we do that because that's how we build our business. But can you not tell me that that doesn't make you a better person? How many relationships have you made through this that you would not have made had you not been forced to just say hello a little bit more? I mean, I might have met my husband by now if I would have said hello to a few more guys, a few more people. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally like that. Like, it's just about putting yourself out there, because I felt the same way. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this hey girl, what's up? She's probably gonna be like, well, why are you messaging me? And maybe she will be. Who knows? Who knows? That's not your problem to figure out. Just say hey. Just be the nice gal. Just throw some love out there at people. It's pretty cool that that's part of our job. That doesn't mean we're salesmen. Like I said, we're not teaching you how to sell. You would suck at selling. Just remember that. You suck at selling. No one teaches you how to be a salesman, so just don't even worry about it. Okay? I don't know. I feel like I love this. Sharing in different ways instead of being repetitive. This is great. Okay, so whenever you write your story down, like your whole start to finish. I don't know. Wait, who asked that question? Raise your hand, whoever asked that question. Okay. So you really have to like pick it apart. You have to like reflect on every single moment of your story. So there's like a lot of different pieces, and you might not think that there are, but there totally are. So sometimes maybe you just want to share a little bit about your past. Sometimes you want to share like how you're moving forward. Maybe you got over something mentally. Maybe it was physical. Your story just has to get broken down, and you have to be willing to reflect on all those different pieces, because sometimes it's hard and sometimes we don't want to like do that. I get that. Sometimes we don't want to like dig deep into ourselves, but that really is what it takes to develop a bunch of different pieces to who you are. And who cares if you say the same thing like 3 or 4 different times? Someone needs to hear it. Never be afraid, guys, of that, because, and I'm telling you, I'm sitting here like yapping my face off, but to be completely honest, like I struggled with every single thing you guys are saying in this chat, and I still do sometimes. I still press post and run away from my phone. Like, it still happens, and I'm sure it's going to continue to happen. But I would take that over like feeling like I was just like every day of my life. You know what I mean? Like that to me is like exciting. It's like super exciting. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we're like, well, I'm not happy today, so I don't know what to post. And that's totally okay. Like it's okay to not be like positive Patty all the time. Talk about it. Because people are, you know, do people think you're full of shit? Just be a real person. That's really like, you don't need to be whatever a fitness coach would be. Just be yourself.
I just want to quickly add to that part. We have a file about breadcrumbing because I know that like crafting your story can be a really hard thing. And I know it was for me because there's so many different components of my story and so many different struggles that I was like, what the hell do I share? And like, how do I share? And how do you even start to piece it together in ways that make sense? But I think that it really comes down to doing some self-exploration too. Like Mackenzie said, like writing out your whole story, like thinking of pivotal turning points in your life, whether they were really good things or really bad things, and how those things changed you or what you learned, or even now, like since you've become a part of Beachbody, how it has helped you progress in things that you couldn't move past, you know, from your past. Because a lot of what you were saying in the beginning about how personal development really brought up a lot of demons and things you had to face, that was very much so the case for me too. And it's hard to work through a lot of that stuff that holds you back. But if you don't work through those things, it really limits your potential of who you want to become and who you have the power to become, because you're not letting go of things that are continuing to hinder you. But in starting to face those things and in continuing to grow, you really start to see that there's a whole lot more to your story and to all the puzzle pieces that you can start sharing. So if you've never sat down and kind of written out things that have been impactful in your life, then maybe that's a really good place to start, and just think about all the emotions that come with those things, all the lessons that have come with those things, how those things made you feel. Because like she said, those emotions are what makes people relate to you more so than the actual thing that it was that you went through. And I can speak to this so much so because I talk about like, you know, the struggles with self-confidence and self-worth and things like that, because I have a lot of scars and whatnot. And a lot of women relate to that, but maybe not necessarily for the same reasons, but they relate to those feelings of inadequacy or self-worth or self-loathing or, you know, negative personal talk. So if you can really dig deeper to get to the emotions that you feel around parts of your story, then you might have an easier time kind of breadcrumbing different pieces of it. That's my 2 cents.
I just want to touch with that. And guys, like you heard me, I went all the way back to my childhood. Like think about who you were as a kid, because that person like matters too. Like the things that you did, you know, when I was a kid, I dreamed of traveling, and I've mirrored that now into where I am now. Like I overcame all those fears that I didn't understand as a kid that pull us down as we get older, because my mindset strengthened. So even stuff like that, I feel like people can relate to. I don't want to keep you guys on here too much longer, but I want to address like 2 more things in the chat box. Melissa, I first of all want to say thank you. And I second of all want to say there are probably so many people out there. I want to see your face. There are probably that is like a beautiful thing to share, because you're a hero in my eyes, like 100%. And I hate that, and I can see why you would be afraid of that, but you deserve to feel like your own hero, because that is insane. I mean, I can't imagine. And there's so many other people who are probably sitting and struggling with that too. but to see you share about it, they might be able to overcome it too. And you're going to overcome it the more you share about it. And like I said, maybe it's not going to be in a post for the first time. Maybe you're going to say it once, like one word about it. But the more you do, the stronger you're going to feel. And I'm telling you, you grow through sharing, guys. You really do. And the one about the before and afters, why are you afraid of sharing a before and after? Because whatever's holding you back from sharing it is probably a great thing to make your post about.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I'll say, because insecurities and stuff like that, guys, like, it's okay to talk about. Like, those things are real. Everybody faces them. I still face them. I might be a Beachbody coach for a year, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to, like, not feel like $1,000,000 all the time. Don't be afraid to just be real with people. You don't have to always be a success story. Success stories are people who are cool with who they are. So just remember that. That's all I got. Sorry. I talked for so long. It's 9:30. I'm so sorry, guys. But I just really enjoyed you guys sharing with me, and I appreciate that so much. And there was just, I really wanted to chat with some of the, whatever. Sorry.
I think it was absolutely amazing. This was everything and more that I hoped it would be. I know that you guys hear me all the time say that this is your platform to influence people, and that whether or not people sign up with a challenge pack or become a coach on your team or anything like that, that you have the ability to influence people. And I forget how you worded it tonight, Mackenzie, but I wrote down something about becoming the hero of your own story, because that's what people want to see. People want to know that they can become their own hero too. And don't just discount it, that if you're not seeing something come of your post, that it's useless or pointless, or that you put yourself out there. Because even if, only one person benefits from it, it's worth it. And always remember that when you are sharing that stuff, you are benefiting from it. Like she keeps saying, that you are growing. The more that you own your story and live authentically and just embrace that, the more beauty that you see that there is in life, and the less limits there are for you, because you just start to really like who you are, and you start to understand that everybody has a past, and that's fine. Nobody has to judge you for it, because the person who probably judges you most is you. And the more that you can let that go, the more that you can become who you want to be. I really hope that you guys took a lot away from this call. I know I did. I think it was absolutely amazing. So before my
I feel like even by speaking to you guys, I feel fuller. So thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing some stuff with me. And I'm incredibly grateful for that, because that's something that I love so much about this business. You guys are awesome. And I really appreciate your trust and your hearts tonight, because I think it was great. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
We appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on, and we will see you next week. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.